Whatever path you are on, whatever inspired you to come here today, we honor you and we welcome you. And now, our message.
Up in April, coming from the heart and singing that song. I forgot. I'm next. Wow. Okay. Yeah, all of that aside, I'm so pleased to be here. You know, Reverend Allie is gone. She's on her cruise. And I would like to give an extra thanks to three of the people that have been fundamental to from the beginning to the growth of the center to what it is today, and that's Kelly doing the video and the sound and everything for us. So Kimmy and Mark are practitioners from the very beginning. Thank you for supporting me and making everything today possible, bringing us to this point. We'll set that aside. I won't do the highlights again, I'll do the top. So our theme for the month was wholeness. And my talk today, I entitled it The Complete Circle. And the concept is about today being complete. The whole thing, like a circle. Now it goes around this circle and it comes back till it's complete, till it's back together. And it serves a purpose. Draws a circle and it's complete. It has been on a path, kind of like we are, each one of us. And it's found its way back home. It is complete. Like we try to be. It is whole, it is one, all its separate parts are unified, and they act accordingly. Can you feel what that must be like? To be whole, to be complete, to be exactly what you need to be. And our lives are like that. We're searching for something. Maybe we're searching for ourselves, for that beginning point that we left. But it seems when we start our circle of life that we often drift in different directions. Without direction, maybe without purpose when we start off on this circle. But it's not always complete. We drift off. Without knowing who we are truly, and what we want, honestly and sincerely, we search and we seek the truth and we wander. Sometimes we know what we want. We just can't seem to do the right things to get us there. We start on this journey of making a circle, and we get sidetracked. We get lost. So you were born into this form. I believe you were a spiritual being, and we are now having a human experience. We learn and we grow, and we experience love. And we experience anger. We try different things. Some feel good, some feel bad. And I think we're looking for a spiritual oneness that we know as God. And we create all those squiggly lines when we leave our path as we search. And we never get back to making that circle, to finding the oneness we are seeking, that sense of purity and joy that we knew as an infant. Without all of our stuff, our egos that sometimes get in the way and misdirect us. We lose our way to becoming whole and complete. And whatever that is for you, because we're all different, we all have different paths. There's not a particular line that you must follow. And I can't imagine in life that there's anyone that has a circle that is perfect and smooth and absolutely round. I believe we start whole and complete, and then we venture out. We start to learn, and we actually view the world outside and see the world outside of ourselves after our infancy. We touch a hot plate, and we know we don't want to go back there again. We learn. We can't figure out how to make someone like us, so we stop trying. Relationships are hard. I won't go there. My teacher told me that I would be no good at math, so I stopped trying. He's not a great athlete, so I didn't even try out for a team. The circle keeps getting diverted. All of those, don't try, I didn't go there, I didn't do this. I believed what others told me, so my circle got diverted. And my path would get altered to match or to avoid. And we all do it, and we get further and further away from who and what we truly are, what we love, what we're here for. What appears to work sometimes is being something other than what we are, doing something else other than what we truly desire. Sometimes you need to be tough or hard or put up a shield or protect or deflect to survive. And you end up further and further away from that circle, from your truth, from yourself. Maybe you're even living someone else's truth. Maybe you are hiding from your own because you scared yourself. You drink, you take drugs, you run, you hide. You stop following your true spiritual path. Because it sometimes obviously doesn't work. So you're off here and it's not working and you go further away. And maybe someone, maybe even a teacher told us something different. And we believe that. And we got lost. Sometimes you conform to who you are with. Not good, not bad. And it could be either. Being drawn to someone because they are like you or the same as you is natural, is good. But what takes us away from ourselves is when we don't know who we are, what we value, what our own standards are. There was a movie, maybe everyone has seen it. It was called Runaway Bride. It starred Julia Roberts. And at some point in her life, she got some publicity for being a runaway bride. She would meet someone and fall in love. They would make plans for the future, and they would plan this wedding. But each time she was walking down the aisle, she would panic, and she would run. So eventually this reporter catches this and wants to write a story about it, and it's Richard Gere. I went to see Julia. My wife, she went to see Richard. A little diversion from our path. Now, Richard starts interviewing her almost husbands, her past fiancés. And when he speaks to the first, just about when the interview is over, he asks a question. How does she like her eggs in the morning? And the first fellow said, oh, well, she likes them just like me, scrambled. And when he interviewed the second, almost-to-be husband, asked him the same question at the end. How does she like her eggs? He said, oh, she likes them just like me, over easy.
Over easy.
And he asked the third husband. There had been 3 or 4 that she'd run on. And he said, oh, yes, she likes them just like me. Soft-boiled eggs. She loves them. And Richard knew he was on to something. She was running because she, at that final moment, walking up the aisle, and maybe even subconsciously, sensed that she was not being true to herself. This was not what she really wanted. She only agreed to the marriage because she was trying to please someone else. She conformed to who she was with and was not following her path. And somehow she knew that this would not make her happy. So she ran. She didn't know why, but it kept happening. And each time she was sure it was real, and it wasn't. I think the same is true for us sometimes. If we don't know who we are, what our standards are, what we value ourselves, then we too are going to keep repeating the same mistakes over and over again. So how, when we are away, when we are off track, and our squiggly circle is way out here somewhere, how do we get back on track? And there are ways to find out, but you need to know yourself, what your values are. Not our parents, and their values could be your values, that's fine, that's true. But don't take it for granted that someone else's value is true for you and then claim it as your own. Find out what your true values are. Find out what your standards are. Now I have some time. I was looking at the clock, and there was a little exercise that I learned a long time ago to take a look and see what do I value. So indulge me for a moment and close your eyes. And I want you to think of someone that you respect and admire greatly. Think of this person. Doesn't even have to be someone you know personally. It can be in the past or the present. They don't even alive or dead. It doesn't matter. Think of someone that you admire and respect. And as you're thinking about this person, think of some of their attributes. What they do, how they do it, who they are. Think about some of their attributes that you really admire. Kind of list them in your head, whatever it is. Okay, and come open your eyes and come back to me. Just kind of keep that in your head, this person and those attributes. And what would we do if we had more time and if we were in a... I just walked too far forward. I think I'm leaving the camera. You have some time, or if we were in a class setting, what we would do would be spend more time with that. And you could list those attributes. And then what you do, you think of somebody else that you truly admired and respected, and go into a meditative state, and you think about that person and their attributes, and you would list those. And you do that with as many people as you could. Maybe it's only 2 or 3. Maybe it's several. And then you get these lists, and you look at them, and you say, look, I see being kind in each one of them as one of them. Being of service, they each were of service in a high-level way. You really respected that. They were very peaceful. And those were mine. Whatever they were for you. What did you value? What was your standard? And you can pull from those and look at those and say, yes, those are my values. Those are my standards. Then when you look at what you are doing or how you are acting when you're off on this path, and you ask yourself, will this action be in alignment with my values and my standards? Now, if your standard is to be a cruel and angry person, and that's your value, that's what you really value, and that's your standard. So if what you are doing and what you are doing will get you there, then you may be in alignment. Actually, I hope that's not what your standard or value might be. But say your value or standard is service and kindness. Then when you're out there and you're out of alignment because you're acting out of anger instead of kindness, it will take you further away from that path to wholeness. If you are acting out of alignment to your own values and standards, you're going to deviate. So when you ask yourself, is that going to take me to wholeness? If it is not one of my standards or something that I value, most likely it will. If that idea is appealing to you, read, take classes, come here on Sunday, study with Allison. Make a turn towards your true desires and goals to yourself. I suppose that being whole means being all of who you really are. Being whole, being complete. And I'm not speaking of in the physical. But I think that's where we mostly go in this human form. We go to the physical. Are you whole and complete? Well, I have a good job. I have friends. I have a family. I have a house. I have a car. I have a lot of great toys. I have a good relationship. So I must be whole and complete. And if it doesn't feel so whole and complete, what do you suppose is missing? What is it that is not there? Because those things are great. Those things could be absolutely necessary in your life. But it's not the whole answer. Because if you don't know yourself, if you don't know who and what you are, where you are going, and why, all that other stuff is window dressing. Maybe a distraction. You're out there in the squigglies, maybe on a path, but out there. Are you headed in the right direction? I think we are all seekers and searchers. I think we're all looking for that spiritual life that brings wholeness to us, completeness to us, to find ourselves, back to spirit, back to God, back to ourselves. Maybe that's why we're here. Maybe that's why we like to be with people like mine. Because maybe they're on the path and you're looking for it. But remember, like I said, we're all different, so we all have different paths. When you know what you truly value, and when you act in alignment with your inner self, then you are headed home. And one day, I know you will hear someone say, "Welcome home." I've been waiting for you. So let us close our eyes and close in prayer, realizing that you are whole and complete. Whether you know it, whether it feels like it, whether you think it is true, listen to me. You are whole and you are complete right now. You are whole and you are complete just as you are. That is the ultimate truth. The whole story, the spiritual truth of you. You are a spiritual being having a human experience, and you are living out some of these ego-driven experiences. That's fine. Know who you are. Know what you are. Know what you are seeking. Know where to find it. Look within. When you are quiet, there is that still voice that gives you answers, that gives you guidance, that tells you and gives you that place of peace, that place of oneness. Because when you are in alignment with yourself, when you are in alignment with the universal vibration, with the frequency of spirit and God and the cosmos in operation, things flow smoothly. When you are not in alignment, the waters get rougher. Know with me now that you are one, you are whole, you are complete, you are loved, you are loving, you are lovable. Peace and joy and calm are your natural state. Your natural state, where you came from, where you were, and where you're headed. You own that in your heart and you know what you value. You are on the path to complete the circle. To love and to know your truth. So you sit with that for a moment and you know that truth. And you feel that truth and that calm and that peace, and you take a breath and you let go. You release it to the universe, to the spirit, to the oneness, in gratitude and in love and
Thank you for blessing us with your presence today and being a part of the Satya Center. You're invited to join Reverend Allie and Reverend Lyle each Sunday morning at 10 a.m. for your dose of connection, inspiration, and co-creation. The Satya Center is located at 795 24th Street, Ogden, Utah. For directions, a map, and our service times, please see our website, thesatyacenter.org. This program was brought to you by the kind donations from the members of the Satya Center. Thank you.